Anybody got any answers for that one? Because I don't.
I always thought it was when you were pregnant and you go into labor.
Is that right?
That's a 9-month holiday.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Welcome to the show, man. We're back. We're now broadcasting out of OBX. We left New York City 5 months ago, and we finally got our studio back. Nico's up there on our little deck that looks out to the Atlantic and the sound, the Pamlico sound.
Pamlico.
And tonight we got Boston Ray. We're gonna talk.
I'm gonna rename it to the Pamlico sound.
Yes. Oh shit!
Yeah.
That's nice. Sorry about my language.
Yeah, and it's good to be back in studio. We've been running off an iPad for 5 months, and we have about 70% of our studio back. So we got Nico back in a place where she can have her own spot again. She's not in the closet.
I'm on a balcony.
You're on a balcony. You can't see the ocean from there, but it's just over the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really pretty.
I've heard rumors that Rico did his best to hold down the situation.
Yeah, you did really well, buddy. And just getting back into it now, I remember it's a lot of gymnastics, but it's not that big of a deal. Boston, how you doing, man?
Hi, Boston.
How you doing?
Hey, Ray.
Honored to be here.
You now in Florida?
Yes, I'm in Florida.
You're now down in Florida.
Actually, right now I'm in Boston in 1907.
Oh, gotcha.
That's where I'm
Aren't you with Tommy? Tell the truth.
Yeah, I'm like 10 minutes away from Tommy. Shout out to Tommy.
Wait, did you move to Florida?
Yep.
Yeah?
Nice.
Yeah, I live in
Where in Florida?
The Gulf Coast.
Nice.
Panhandle.
Like where? Sarasota?
Up. No.
Oh.
Pensacola.
Oh, Pensacola.
Yep.
Okay. That's awesome. That winter is going to be a lot better than Boston winters.
I've been here for 2 years now. And
yeah.
I don't know. It's pretty good.
Dude, we're we just, the average temperature where we're at now, it doesn't go normally below 50 degrees. I have never experienced that. It's going to be like Groundhog's Day here.
Yeah, it's great. But it's weird, though, because after you get used to it, and then, you start feeling cold in the winter. And it's not even cold. And if the people came from up north, they would be like, you know what I mean? It's hot.
Yeah.
So.
Rico, Andrew, what's going on, guys?
Well, I want to say something super dark. My psychotherapist told me the reason why I give everyone their own nickname is I'm trying to replace my brothers. So that's where Ray came from. Sorry, man.
It's funny. They used to call me Ray growing up when I was a kid and shit. So they, my parents and all, my friends.
Yeah, but apparently that's why I keep doing that.
It's okay.
Whatever.
You can call me Ray.
Oh my God, CIA is here.
Andrew is on time after his epic broadcast last night. Nice work, buddy. I'm really proud of you getting here on time.
I watched it. That was.
Yeah.
something.
The only problem was it was a car accident that
What?
prevented me from doing all of that on time kind of stuff.
Oh, did you have a fender bender? Obviously, you're alive.
Right. Yeah, but if someone was in the CIA, they wouldn't have a bong.
Woo! Starting off with a bang.
Yeah, that was epic last night.
I think
Andrew.
they would have a bong, actually.
Probably.
I feel like it's part of your CIA kit, a gun and a bong.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, you got to calm people down some way and get them to tell the truth, right?
I guess.
You know what? I gotta say, Ray is a really good dude. I called him because I'm trying to do this super bad video for Andrew with me dyeing my hair. Yeah. And I'm trying to describe it. He tried his best to help, but
Singeman said he would make it for you. He's good. I'm telling you, he's like a tattoo artist. Like you said.
Well, the suicide
tell
part.
him what you want, and he does it.
I put a mattress out and did the keyboard part, and I'm supposed to fall dead into the mattress, but I didn't commit to it, so I landed on my spine. I'm not as smart as you guys.
It doesn't sound like the video that you're trying to make is too hard to make anyway. I mean,
no, it should be 3 trips, and the punches is my hair. You know what? Never mind. I'm over it. By the way, when I say I'm over it means I'm obsessed.
Hold on. I have to take over for a moment. That Boston Ray, you're going to be talking a lot tonight about the mudfloods and Tartaria. Is that correct?
We could get into Tartaria a little bit if you want. I mean, but I wasn't really the type of research I do. I research Tartaria and I know a lot about it, right? But
Okay.
I'm more or less like the buildings, man. The buildings, right?
Yeah, I don't
So-
like the title Tartaria. I like hidden history.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like there is Tartaria on old maps. You can
I
find
know.
it. There is a CIA document that was leaked that says that the British and the Russians were to destroy Tartaria and rewrite the history. Well, I don't know if it's real or not, but it looks legit. People say it's real. So
Hey, just real quick.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat says they can't hear you. You want to gain up a little bit
Who,
on
me?
your mic.
Me?
I think it's you just because
Alright.
you're in my left. Oh no, wait. He says never mind. Okay, I was just getting
It's
you ready.
because-
Anyway,
I don't want to clip out. All right, here we go.
you should be in good
Everybody
shape.
sounds good to me.
So,
Nico
so,
sounds
so,
good,
so
and-
the
Yeah, you
thing, the
sound
thing
good.
is like, the thing is, people try to say like, this is all from Tartaria, right? But like, we don't know that. Like, there wasn't Tartaria on the map, but like, it. What we can say is that it was from a civilization that was more advanced than us. I mean, I don't really know what the name is. It's about stuff that they haven't taught us about in school. The only thing that we really can prove for sure is that we're being lied to.
I was going to say we talked in pre-show and we were like, how do we actually talk about this subject that's so divisive? Like, you have to understand, like everyone just lumped it all into Tartaria, and then you've got like you've got mud flood, and you've got melted bricks, which is that's a thorn in the side of a lot of people, right?
No, Caribbean loves
can,
melted bricks.
can you take us through the subdivisions that you understand it to be, so that people actually can look at it with an open mind and not be turned off by some I would say
there's
more
like-
fringier shit?
Yeah, so there's like old world research, which is kind of like just sticking to the facts and what you can see and what you can prove and like what history's saying and things like that. And then, the mud flood. Can you put my thing on the screen?
Yeah, I got you.
Yep. You got it? All right.
So the mud flood. We say, I can't see the mud flood for you. You have to see it yourself. Right? So do you see this photo right here? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Look how low below ground this is. That's the ground level up there.
Wait,
Look at the
so
buildings.
something doesn't work there. Why is that construction guy so much bigger than that truck? Is
Do
that
they have hard hats
It's
back then?
perspective.
My
It's
Rico.
definitely.
No,
He's
no.
in
this
the
is
Hold on,
foreground.
hold the phone.
This is
Did they
nowadays.
have hard
look.
hats back then?
wait?
No,
why
this
is
is-
Ray Ray
this
hanging
is
out
this
in
is
there?
this is nowadays, Nico. So this is what's going on, right? When they do construction projects and they have to dig up underground, it shows up sometimes. They try to facade over it. We call them the facaders. These people are the facaders, and they usually have it all facaded up. And by the time they leave, it looks like a completely different place. You never get to see what was there. But every once in a while, you have a mud flood researcher that's good, that sees it and gets a good shot. And that's what you're seeing here. Look how low it goes under the ground. Like, they're doing it.
Is this why we
That's
get the
old.
basement windows? Is this part of the same?
Mud flood windows. I mean, yeah, I guess so. But
Sorry,
like,
I'm
for the
not
most
very
part, I just
researched.
try to stick to like what I can really prove. Like, I'm not, like when did mud flood turn into Dungeons and Dragons?
Whoa!
You know what I
look
mean?
at that photo, guys. Look at that.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you can see the whole top. That's a whole building that it's built on top of. How did that building underneath it get underneath it? Like, so basically the whole world was set up like a circuit board. It's a
Well, okay,
grid.
wait. Who's got the mouth noises? Who's eating ice? I can hear it.
Good call. It's not me.
Is it
not
me?
me.
Oh, it's probably my mic is so hot. I have a Zen in it's probably that. I'll turn it down here. You know what? I'll
Yeah.
mute up.
I
Let me.
Turn down the volume on your Zen.
Yeah, I
You
know.
guys are
I
aware,
have-
Go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
have
go
a
ahead.
little bit
You
of
have a question?
construction experience, and when it comes to pictures like this,
Uh-huh.
I would say, okay, well, just using the law of parsimony, and the top half of it seems to be definitely painted an obvious color, and then the bottom half has these ridges around it, and obviously painted a different color. So, what happened? What do we know exactly? Don't know, but there's a huge gate, there's windows, and things like that.
And this is all below the ground. They're doing a construction project. Look, these buildings were found, not built. So the word "founded" means they found it.
Found
And
it. Yeah.
And that's kind of the theory. Like the people that come that are in the pictures, and I'll show you. Here's another good one.
Whoa! Look at that.
So
Oh my gosh, I wonder what's hidden underneath like the Venice canals and the Amsterdam canals and stuff. That must, I mean,
Well, LA's got a whole like thing too.
And the canals were important to the whole grid system, and they brought water and helped the free energy. The canals, a lot of them were man-made canals were built just to bring energy in, because it was all done with water and electrostatics and cymatics and harmonics and like frequencies. You know.
Oh,
like,
so the mud flood was done intentionally?
no,
to cover
no,
things
no,
up.
No, I'm saying the free energy. The whole advanced civilization that was here before us was more. Their buildings were built with a purpose. They were built like pieces of tech, like antiquitech. That's why you see all these spires and things sticking up like to the sky, because that was like antennas. Like they were using like Tesla technology to get free energy.
Oh,
and
yeah, you're
power
speaking my
them.
language.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like,
So
And-
I have a question
but-
for you later on. I'm gonna shut up for a while.
So
But-
like,
Okay.
so like you notice like the cathedral, right? Cathedrals are cathodes. Cathedral, right? And
they have
they have,
somatics.
but they also have bells inside, like giant bells, and they also have like pipe organs, like these crazy pipe organs. I wish I had some pictures of those.
That's what I mean by somatics. They have like
Yeah.
different notes that
So-
play.
So the waters would come in through the canals, and there's always like a fountain going to the cathedrals, you know, outside underneath. They call it the living waters, the waters that run underneath the cathedrals. And they use the bells and certain frequencies in the pipe organs to make the water shape certain ways, you know. And like when you hit water with like any type of electricity, it's like lightning
Conductor.
turns blue.
And I think this is important, and I want to talk about this real quick because this is really important about like your presentation as we move forward. Okay, so when they say mud flood, all right, what the initial response from the eyes of people looking at it is, it looks, when you look at one of these pictures, it appears as though there was some sort of event that created a sediment up to a certain level in buildings. You can see it in a lot of old pictures. This is mud flood. It's different than Tartaria. It's different than the
Yeah,
melted bricks thing.
So
It's-
meltology. We think in the mud flood community, when they came out with meltology, it wasn't done intentionally, but like some of them are doing it intentionally because it's going to be debunked one day. And if people think it's mud flood, they mix it in and they're muddying the waters. They're muddying the waters. Yo, so check this out. So like you see how it could work? Like that's the antenna, mercury cell. So we think these balls right here, right, were filled up with mercury. And you know, there's free energy devices that spin mercury and stuff like that. So if they had some kind of a ball with mercury, it could work. You know, energy.
You're saying they're harvesting from the ether
Yeah,
through the towers.
And bricks, there's a type thing called energy bricks that store energy. Like we did a whole show on it. Like I've been doing brick research like from the very beginning.
Hey,
So-
can I ask you real quick, Ray?
Yeah.
Ray? There was a guy that did a video forever ago called "The Hidden History of Flat Earth." You remember that?
We all watched that. That was an epic one. Those guys
He
also are.
he did a retraction though. Do you know
It
about
was-
He
that?
did. He did do a retraction, but I think it was a very specific retraction that he did. He tried. He overshot the mark. He nailed a lot of stuff, and then he overshot, and he had to retract. But yes, like,
Okay.
He was a chubby, fat, stout kid with a lisp that sat behind me in high school in like the 11th grade.
Wait, that's the same guy.
Same.
No
guy.
kidding.
Nah.
I hate you. Well, I hate you because I have a speech impediment too.
Can we get Ewar on here for a
Ewarnon, that's it.
Maybe.
Yeah,
you were
I
on,
reached.
yeah.
I reached out to him on Odyssey, so we'll see what happens. Shout out to Ewar. Get back to me. I've talked to him before on Odyssey, but I haven't heard from him in a while, so I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, this
I
is
have
the White
I
City.
have a speech impediment, so I take
So
offense
would
to
you
that.
have guessed this is Chicago in 1893?
I think the correct word is Chilago on the maps. It was called Chilago. It literally was. I mean, that's how it was
okay. I thought
spelled.
that was a joke.
So these World's Fairs that they had, right, were like in America, but they had these buildings there, right, like these ones, and they look like they're from Rome and like Greece, and they lit up, and like the first World's Fairs were like before they had electricity or right when the invention of electricity, and they had like people would travel to these things back then because you didn't drive. People used to travel by boat or by Zeppelin or whatever,
Train.
right? Train, and it would
Horse.
take them forever. It would take them months to get to these things, right? And basically, this was before the news, before television, and they were basically showing you like this is the near future. This is 20 years from now. This is 30 years from now. This is how you're going to behave in 40 years from now. This is what you are to expect. They were predictive programming the masses and showing them how society was going to be shaped and how they needed to obey.
So they basically hijacked the future. They hijacked it and said it was theirs, even though they found it.
They already knew probably what was. Yeah, they probably found the whole thing. It's a trip. But then they also had these baby exhibits, and they were giving away babies from incubator exhibits. They were growing.
Oh, the Cabbage Patch.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's right.
I'm gonna get into it in a little.
Can
while.
you put a pin in that real quick? Because I'm from Kansas City. Put a pin in that one because we want to talk about the babies and the incubators.
Yeah.
This is in Kansas City. I've looked at a lot of mudflood stuff from Kansas City. They claim it was that the Kansas City wasn't built; it was excavated. That picture, yeah. So I know that those pictures, and I know those intersections, and I've seen several from there. And if you look at these, there is mud caked all the way up the side of a building. And there's a lot of people out there that would say this could be fake too. This could be whatever.
Yeah.
They call it in Kansas City though. They call it was just a river flood, the Great Flood. And there's a famous exhibit in Kansas City where there's a river boat that they excavated from underneath the river, and that's kind of part of Kansas City lore for what happened. It's the Missouri River that runs through Kansas City. That's what divides Kansas from Kansas City, Missouri. It's the same city, two different states. But then where these intersections happened in the city, there was mud. You can see if this picture is legit. There's mud all the way up to the right side of that building, all the way up to the top floor. The Missouri River never has flooded that high, and downtown Kansas City is up a little bit from the river. I can imagine maybe down near where the river is, like at the banks, it could have flooded somewhat, maybe first floor. These pictures from Kansas City, I recognize the buildings. They had mud up to almost the roof, and they're digging it out. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this one. Same thing all over the place. So this is Boston, right? And the story of Boston goes this, right? Castle Island was an island, right? It's South Boston where all the Irish people are. Was an island, but it's not an island. It's part of the land, right? You're like, so when was it an island? You look at maps, it's confusing, right? And then they're like, well, we filled it in with a landfill, right? And then they say that they were these people with this primitive stuff, horse and buggies, that built these awesome structures, right? And they're digging, they're filling this in right now. This is a photo of them filling it in.
Oh wow.
Yeah, bullshit.
They're digging it out. They're digging it out. So they're showing you photos.
Wait,
of
how
them
do they
digging-
flatten it out? Like, hey, dude, get a shovel. Let's make this all level.
Well, if you look at all the photos, the first photos of cities, like I have a whole bunch of them here.
No. I understand I'm being sarcastic.
No. I'm saying they show it, and like a lot of them are like during the day, and they're like completely empty, the cities, and there's nobody around, and it's like deserted, and it's almost like they sent a scout to check and see if it was safe, and then they're gonna go in and take the whole place and look for like look for like what's left, like what buildings didn't get completely, flooded in by sediment or whatever. What buildings are still salvageable? What can we rebuild a little bit and still use? And then they're digging out what they got to dig out.
Oh my God! What if Paul Revere was like, "The mud flood is coming. The mud flood is coming."
So it's more like, what if Paul Revere was like, "Hey, I slept with Heather last night. Can you help me cover this shit up?"
So and if you look up Great Fires, right?
Oh yeah.
There was a Great Fire everywhere. Like,
you know why
everywhere.
it started? You want to know why it started? This
Which
is
one?
photography history lore. I went to school in Boston at photography school. We learned this in photography history, photo history. They all started because of mercury vapor. Because mercury vapor is so flammable, and they used the flash bulbs, and every great fire can be traced back to a photo studio.
So that's the story, right?
Yeah, but if you look at the photo, you get like these guys in top hats. There's guys
Dude,
doing like Freemasonic poses everywhere. Look, hidden hand right there. You see him?
Yeah.
And the whole place is just completely ruined, right? It almost looks like they found it like this. Like that these aren't even photos from a great fire.
It looks like bombed out. It looks bombed out. Like
it looks like
something,
Hawaii. How Hawaii looked after the
or the Palisades.
whatever it was. Look, this is a place in Boston that I know. Look, this is how
I know that place.
after the Great Fire, and it's near State Street.
That's State Street.
State Street.
Yep.
But like, for the most part, right? Like, this is kind of. I mean, I enjoy it. It's relaxing at night. Change of pace. Don't have to worry about anything. Just watch people look at photos. It's
So
fun.
my question for you in this regard is, you're showing a bunch of stuff over on the East Coast, northern East Coast at the moment. Have you done other research in regards to other areas?
It's completely like this everywhere. I just grabbed what I could
Okay.
in the meantime, but every single Great Fire looks like this. Like, it's crazy, and they got these guys just standing around, like, I don't know, just posing. So
Let's talk about that, because like a picture is worth 1,000 words. Like if you could look into actually what's going on in these photos, there's some strange shit that just, to me, it looks like Dresden. It looks like the bombing of Dresden, only this happened in like almost every major American city. There was a fire in every single one. It's like, when's the last time
They
you
were all
like tried to light up
early.
When's the last time you tried to light a rock on fire?
well,
And
like
then they look like they're blown up.
it's ridiculous
or something.
It's ridiculous because like the story of like the Chicago one, right? It looks like this too. Like I have more. The story of the Chicago one is crazy. It's like cow kicked over a candle and it burnt
A
the whole
lantern.
pla-
It was a lantern.
A lantern. And the whole thing just burnt down the whole place like that? Like, really?
It
Like,
burnt down the whole entire city when the city is built with like stones and bricks and all of that stuff. Like, I don't understand how the city could get that hot with just one lantern. And plus, on top of that, the oil in the lantern, it doesn't really burn that high. It burns like not like a crazy temperature, not even like way less than a gas stove burns on your like pilot light.
Why would it blow up buildings? Those buildings look blown up.
Well,
They look
probably because they were using a lot of chemicals and asbestos and things like that were abrasive.
Well, that would
Maybe.
mean that then that's just a whole another chemical rabbit hole you go down. But like,
Hold on.
Oh, hey guys.
People
Hey.
were making light with the what is it? Not uranium. It's other stuff where they were like turning everything green and they got all sick because they were
Yeah.
like,
Nico, it's called thermite.
no, thermite is what they took down the World Trade Center with, dude.
No,
It
I
wasn't
know.
thermite.
I'm kidding.
No, uridium.
then we got photos like this. I don't know where this is from, but look at that. It's like,
That looks like Egypt.
it looks like it looks unearthed. I always go back to, because I always like when I don't understand something, I go back to, water at scale. It looks like sediment, which is the mud flood section of our conversation, which is different than. It looks like sediment. It looks like sediment that's built up, and they're digging it out. To me, That's just what my eyes
What's
tell me.
that dude wearing in the foreground of that photo? Like, what's he got on his jacket?
It looks like he's Native American or something. I don't know. Muslim?
I don't
He
know
has, like,
what that
something-
kind of
Is he
dress
wearing
is.
goggles? Is that those
Is
goggles?
there a skeleton next to him? What the hell is that?
Is that a Post Malone logo?
I have no idea. Oh, God.
Oh, nailed it.
But yeah, so.
Keep
then I
going.
got-
Sorry.
Yeah. I got a whole bunch. Let me see. I gotta share a different way now to get to these other ones. So hold on. Share.
I love this shit. I love analyzing photos because there's so much little tricky things in there that if you don't spend time looking at it, it's like. Let me see.
Share my screen.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, a lot of those old.
So this is
Crazy echo. What am I doing?
This is San Francisco. So you said this is after the Great Fire. They're allegedly like rebuilding it, right? But like Market Street, I think it is.
Yeah, that's the main one.
Yeah, that's the south end.
Yeah. So, but look at these people. All right, so they're all horse and buggies, right? A lot of these old photos, the streets are completely muddy. Right?
Mud.
This one has like bricks there, whatever. But like, if they were able to build buildings that good, wouldn't they build better streets? And I don't think these people, like this in this condition, were building these buildings. So, like this, you see the scaffolding here? That's one thing that we look for. So in my research, we look for like construction photos of anything. Like if we want to see if something was built, maybe there's photos of it being constructed, right? But if there's not any photos of it being constructed, then there's no record of it really being built. So like if you came to this new place, right, and you was an orphan, right? Say you was an orphan. And you came, we're going to get into the orphans in a second. And say you came over to this new place, right? And it's crazy like this, and you're in the middle of the people, all these things running around your hair, and you're a little kid. And you're like, what am I going to do, you know? And one of these guys with the top hats comes up to you and says, okay, this is what I want you to do. Your dad was Irish, and your mom was Italian. And we're going to give you see this building right here? You can have it. You can have it. You can live there. All you got to do is stick to this story. Pass it down throughout your whole family history, like the children, to the next generation, to the next generation, to the next generation. That you've had this building in your family for about 500 years. You know what I mean? And your aunt gave it to you. Like they give them a whole thing to follow, and then you just and that's your family history. Like, so it's provable too because the DNA tests, the 23andMe and all that, were coming back to orphans, and they sent out a memo to government employees, like, don't take those tests anymore. So that's a trip. Let me see.
Okay, so I just did a little bit. So these fires, like the notable fires of the late 1800s. So the Chicago fire lasted for a couple days. It was October 8th to October 10th in 1871. Destroyed more than 3 square miles of the city, and 17,000 structures were lost. In 1871, there were 17,000 structures for a new city that was just being built. Approximately 300 people died, and 100,000 were left homeless. Then the city quickly rebuilt with fire-resistant codes. Then there was this cow legend. The story that a cow owned by Catherine Lowry kicked over a lantern to start the fire is a well-known legend, though it has since been disproven. The true cause is unknown.
It's total bullshit.
Okay, wait a second. So the Peshtigo fire in 1871, that was also in Chicago on October 8th. It was actually northwestern Wisconsin, and it burned parts of Michigan. Approximately 1.2 to 1.5 million acres of land was wiped out, as well as 1,600 towns, and up to 2,500 people were killed. The reason is obscure. It was remote, and telegraph lines burned in the disaster. Interesting, telegraph lines burned. The San Francisco Gold Rush fires from 1849 to 1851. There was other notable fires. The Great Fire of New York was 1835, destroyed 345 buildings in Lower Manhattan, causing approximately $20 million. That was probably because of Shabbos and the Shabbos candles. The Great Fire of Pittsburgh in 1845 destroyed 1,000 buildings. Great Boston Fire 1872, and literally to the day 1 year after the Boston Fire. So the Chicago Fire happened on October 8th. Boston Fire happened on October 8th the next year in 1872. The Great Fire of St. John destroyed 1,600 buildings in New Brunswick, Canada, and the Great Seattle Fire in 1889 in June destroyed 25 city blocks in downtown Seattle. Who the fuck was living in Seattle back then?
They found it.
Eddie Vedder.
So when
Kurt Cobain.
a human being, right, has records that are left here, right, when we pass away, right? Maybe
Sure.
like 70, 80, maybe 100 years worth of history, right? Like
That's New York. That's 1 million
like,
squares.
I hope we all live to like 200 years old. I hope we all do. But like most likely like 70, 75 years worth of history if you're lucky, right? And what can they look up? They can look up maybe your health records, criminal records, music that you've created and left here, right? But like there's not much, right? But buildings, these old buildings, right? They were here hundreds of thousands of years before us, before we were born, and they're here when we die, right? When we leave this place, some of these buildings are still going to be here, you know?
They tell a story.
So, there's more history in the buildings, and there's more buildings than people, so they couldn't cover up all the history. So what you do is you look into the history of the buildings, and you find the truth, and that's a skill. Mud flood researching is a skill. So let me give you an example, okay? I'm going to walk you guys through this.
I've been in that building before.
While you're looking that up, Ray, I've been watching your shit for like 5 or 6 years. So I'm not trying to like sweat you, but I'm a bit of a fan.
Thank you. You know what? I'm a Rico fan too. So.
Well, I'm kind of hot for AI.
So I was just walking along doing my mud flood thing one day, just looking at buildings all nonchalant. I had no idea that this building was here, right? But I seen it. I was like, wait, if that's kind of nice, like the architecture right here, and it has like a night. Yeah, and I'm like, what is it, right? I'm like, the bricks are yellow. So I stopped to look, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. And I'm noticing the symbology, right? The three chains, the wreath, right? The laurel wreath.
Whoa.
And I'm like, the laurel
Look
wreath.
like
of
an
control.
alien too.
Yeah, and I'm like, and you know, like this is a chartreuse. This thing right here, it looks like a shield, right?
Yep.
They're supposed to say something on them, right? Like
Why doesn't that say something?
They're all scrubbed, like everyone. Like they're hard to find something that still says something, or if it does say something, it's something new that was put there. We don't know.
Who
what
is
they
eating ice? I can still hear it.
We don't
Am
know
I
what they
tripping?
used to say. I'm not eating ice.
Huh.
But, so like you got the flames, right? And then I noticed up here, look.
And then up here, hold on, you got a fleur-de-lis.
Whoa!
There's a fleur-de-lis, there's a shell. How many of those coin things are there?
It goes along the whole building.
That
but
one
look
looks like a vagina.
But there's also like
I'm
an
a big
Illuminati
fan.
one. Watch. There's one that looks like there's one that looks like the all-seeing eye on a pyramid. It's coming up. Yeah. So I was like, what is this? Now I'm like intrigued. I'm like, what is this building? You know what I mean? So, look, there's a Griffith right there.
There's a Griffith.
Yeah, 2 Griffiths.
There's a
on this one.
falcon.
Yeah. So I'm like, whoa, like what is this building, right? So I look into it.
This is your footage?
Yeah, this is me.
That's Boston, right?
Malden, Mass. Yeah. And I'm
No.
wait
real
until I
quick.
tell you what this building is. It's a
Hey,
trip. Yeah.
Andrew wants to chime in.
Yeah, go
Hey,
ahead.
so
What does that say?
It says International Order of the Oddfellows. Something.
Oh.
Go
No,
ahead.
around the arc. Around the arc of the
Ye
door.
Oddfellows. We know those guys.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Wait a minute. Around the arc of
Hey.
the door, it has letters. It's in Latin or something.
No,
Hey, let
it's actually
Andrew
in English,
chime
it
in,
just looks
Ray
like
Ray.
that. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Let Andrew.
Okay, so your information and your research is phenomenal.
Thank you.
And I know that some of these things are made for a specific purpose. They're not just like random
Look
type
at the
of
cherub head. Look at
and
the
a
Whoa.
cherub.
lot of people look
Yeah.
at and don't even know what they are. So it's
Yeah.
about trying to
Here
decipher
it is.
what
This
exactly they
building-
are and why they were put up.
Yeah, exactly. It's all there, right in plain sight, right in front of your
Yeah,
face.
hold tight, Ray Ray. Like Andrew, get his
Yeah,
thought
I'm
out.
sorry, Andrew. I'm just excited. Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
But it
This
says,
building.
erected for the Order of the International Order of the Odd Fellows, right? So the International Order of the Odd Fellows, if you look at it, right, it's educate the orphan was their motto.
Oh.
Educate, aid the sick, kill off the dead, and educate the orphan.
Oh, that's
I
going to
thought-
lead to our next
Wow.
conversation, isn't it? That's going to be our next
Wow.
That's
conversation.
dark.
Yeah.
Population agenda. And
Wow.
and the thing is like these Oddfellows, I researched more into it. They had ships. They're back from Britain in like 16 something, 15 something, and they brought ships of orphans over to these orphan schools that they had set up, and this is one of them. And they educated the orphan, and they aided the really sick and old people, and it shows them showing the orphans the globe.
Hey, Ray, can I ask you a
Really?
question? What is the
Ooh,
whole...
Yield Globe.
So
What's the
what-
whole... What's the whole topic about Cabbage Patch Kids? Do you know?
We're
what
going to get to
means?
that. Okay, well, can we hold off real
Wait
quick?
a
'Cause-
second.
Yeah.
Well, I want to
Cabbage
finish
Patch
this
Kids.
this idea because we're gonna get to the orphans in the second half.
Yeah.
To
Okay.
catch the audience up on number one, the Oddfellows, and number two, the orphan trains, which we're going to hit hard second half. The from the mud flood perspective, only the mud flood, not the melted bricky things
Yeah.
or not the Tartaria or not anything else. The evidence in old pictures suggests that there was a repopulation event in the 1800s. There was a mud flood event, which looks like silt built up on buildings. It buries the buildings up to a certain point. And you have these world fairs, and you had babies in incubators. It was a repopulation situation is what we're actually getting at here. And we're going to get to the juice of this because I know you know
And
a
my
ton of
thing
shit
is,
about
my thing is where I differ from a lot of people because like a lot of the researchers try to say that there was more than one mud flood and all this. I think the mud flood was the Great Flood in the Bible, and the Bible happened 1,000 years sooner, and
I totally
a
agree.
fake 1,000 years onto our timeline. And I think that the Dark Ages really never existed, and I also think that they're hiding God because if you could prove that the flood was real, right? The flood really happened. Well, then the Bible's real because the flood comes from the Bible, right? And if the
Yeah.
Bible's real, well, then Jesus is real. And if Jesus is real, well, God must be real then, right? And it's the
Well,
same thing
it's
with
kind
the
of like
globe,
flat Earth, right? Like
Yeah, it's
it's
the same
it's
thing.
kind of like the same.
It's an
Yeah.
agenda to put time and space between us and the creation and the Creator.
Yeah, it's an inversion method to create as much space as possible between what you're capable of versus like how much you can suppress yourself. And I think this is important. This mud flood stuff is super important because like I've always thought like I even when I visited the southwest of the desert, it looked like a water event at scale created a lot of madness out there. And then if you just take that idea and you just look at Midwestern cities, especially in the Midwest, you see what we were calling mud flood evidence all over the place where buildings go down into the ground. It looks like silt had built up around them, and when you have construction projects exposing more levels below, you know, the people that own the buildings, they're just like, well, we don't know. The records only go back so far. But even then the door was sealed to who knows how many levels below the ground. And it does look, when you look at the pictures, it appears as though there was some sort of water event, a silt event. And that's where mud flood comes from. It's separate from the meltology school. It's separate from, I don't want to call it school, but it's there's an idea of that too. And you can look at it yourself. And there's a lot of divisiveness on that one. Tartaria as well. Tartaria was a name on a map. But you can't just place Tartaria names on all mud flood events, just like you can't place water at scale events on all meltology quote unquote events.
It makes us look stupid when you say, "Oh, this is from Tartaria." It's like,
Yeah, it's
no,
dumb.
It's like, did you? I mean,
Well, yeah, I have nothing against Tartaria. I just don't
neither.
like calling this
Shout out to
entire
Tartaria.
subject Tartaria. You know
Yeah,
what I
it's
mean?
the umbrella meaning of what it is. It's like what you
the
guys
same
got
thing-
old buildings.
And the same thing
Yeah.
with meltology. If people don't know the difference between the meltology research and the mud flood research, and they think it's because it's all based on bricks, right? So, like, well, it's all brick research, so they put it all into the same thing. And then one day, someone's going to come along and make the meltologists look stupid, like it hasn't already happened. And they're gonna say, well, we debunked meltology, so therefore we debunked the mud flood. But like, no, there are buildings that are way, way under the ground, like lasagna. That
Yeah, a lot of people are very dismissive with the meltology thing, and Karen B is not wrong. I've heard her; she's kind of dismissive about the whole thing, and I get it. That one dude is, you know what? I don't want to say. I don't like to talk about people when they're not here to defend themselves, but the redheaded guy,
yeah,
he's kind of
We
harsh.
know, Jerry. It's Jerry. It's okay. We can talk about it.
Well, no, he's kind of harsh.
Here's
Yeah.
some photos of this stuff. I mean, really detailed. So I think that the way that they built it was they used molds. Like they molded it and then cemented it on. Like they didn't
Yeah.
carve this. They didn't carve this.
Hey, if we're not breaking, I got to break. I'm sorry, guys.
We're gonna take a break. Let's do this. Let's take a break, and we'll come back. We're gonna tackle the the orphan trains is and Cabbage Patch Kids stuff
I
is
got a
like
lot on
really
that.
fascinating.
I actually
I-
have something to show.
Okay, do you
All right.
want to go ahead and do that?
Let's do
Yes.
it.
All right, hold on.
Stop sharing.
I need to get over to that. In the wrong freaking tab again. Too many tabs. Okay. Okay. So this is the Give Send Go, which is don't ever use GoFundMe again. That's just worthless. So yeah, this is a fundraiser I created for Witsit, and I've already been the first contributor to it. And yeah, he's going through a bunch of personal things at the moment, including, well, the major cost of moving, as I'm sure a lot of people are aware, that is very expensive. So I'm going to post, if someone could, post that into the link for our live stream. But yeah,
Can you throw that in there, Rico? Throw it into the chat. And that's going to be, well, it's mid-September, right?
Yes, sir. And by the way, he can't legally speak about the truth, so it's
don't
hard.
stop.
It's really hard to promote.
He's going through a lot of personal issues along with having to move. So I'm trying to help raise, promote, whatever you want to say, about $10,000 for him.
Hey,
Maybe someone-
Andrew, can you send me a link to his Give Send Go? Just text it to me.
It's
please?
right there on the screen. But yeah,
Where?
Or
I'll
do it in the
put
you can send it to the private chat too. If you want
yeah,
to.
I'll put it in private chat and also into YouTube.
Okay,
Then
thank you.
that,
Okay,
I may have
I gotta
to head
pee so bad. I'm gonna pee my leg.
Yeah. I may have to head out early because my uncle is not showing up to the house, my grandma's house. So I think I
Okay.
may have to.
We'll see you guys in the second half. We're going to talk about some very, very interesting things, which is the Cabbage Patch Kids, orphan trains, and what all this actually means for everything. So stick around. We will be back shortly. And love you guys.
Solve the mystery. Esoterica, Music and Art Festival. Decode the mysteries of the occult. October 17th, 18th and 19th, 2025. Happening in Spartanburg, South Carolina at the Music. Air. Earth. Ether.
Featuring Austin Whitsitt of Whitsitt Gets It. Live music by Chief Crow. Mario Garza of Symbolic Studies. Artist Watson Atkinson. Live music by Alex Lowry and Christopher Crumb of Don't Follow Crumb. Plus more to be announced.
Decode the mysteries of the occult. Gain wisdom, shed fear. Esoterica. Go to esoterica.world for tickets and for more information.
And new record out, Night Movies at Beach 97. And that's out this summer. We're going to talk about it all year long. And we got Esoterica coming up here in October. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be talking about a lot of stuff, of the occulted, as it were. And tonight we got Boston Ray Mudflood on here talking about some stuff that is, it's lines
Stuff
up.
that's it's unfounded.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that kind of lines up with this new cosmology that we've kind of found ourselves involved in the last 10 years, and that's the only way I can talk about it is like understand your cosmology, understand what you're walking around on and what your surroundings are, and then look into the history of it. And that's why, the mudflood topic is directly related to flat Earth in every single way, like almost to the point where like they're married. It's like the First and Second Amendment. They're married. They lean on each other. Would you say that?
They make such a cute couple.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, well, like what I was trying to get to, and we'll get to it because I have the picture coming up of the. It's right on the artwork for the Oddfellows. It shows them showing the orphans the globe, right? So if they were repopulating the whole place with orphans, which they were, right? They were. The whole place was repopulated with orphans, right? And they started showing them the globe right from the beginning. Well, then that explains it. Why everyone believes the globe. Well, there you go. Because right from the beginning, when they built the new civilization and repopulated, straight up started with the globe right from the beginning. Boom.
Yeah, you catch them when they're kids and throw a ball in front of them, and they think that, oh, this is where I live. I mean, that's at the very base level of indoctrination. If you can get them when their plate is clean, as in an infant, and then you do it over generations, then nobody questions it because they were like, we've always known this. Well, yeah, well, you were shown that, but you've never seen it with your own eyes, and it applies to like this place that we live in. Which is like, I prefer the word realm. It's like, I don't know what's outside of, the basin that we're in, but there's shores. Maybe there's more land or maybe there isn't. But like, we've got some evidences right in front of our eyes. And in every single city, you'll notice the same thing. Somehow, all the old like marble, big construction buildings of like, that we don't build anymore, always end up being libraries or government buildings or courthouses.
Yeah.
It's almost like they founded it.
they kept the good buildings for themselves, and they gave us little cardboard boxes to live.
And they gave themselves power. They gave themselves power to be like, look what we did, because but no one even questions. It's like, whoa, there's a big building over there, and that must be where power sits, because they found it, or they took on a building that was already there, and that makes a lot of sense to me. That tracks well with me.
They were smart enough to put scaffolding around the building and make it look like they owned it. Like, that's all. Think about how easy it is to set up scaffolding, right? And you got an orphan coming along. You want everyone to believe that you just put up scaffolding around the thing and make it look like you built it, and tell everybody you built it. You
just lie about history, lie backwards and forwards. Like, was it Orwell? It was like, if you control the past, something about controlling the past, you control the present. If you control the present, control the future. They just lied about it.
History is a set of lies agreed upon.
Yeah.
History is his story, not ours. All right, so this is a good segue into the orphan thing. You ready?
All right, and now it's your floor. I want to get, because we like to talk a lot, but this is your floor, so let's get on this.
Your parents. Your past is not your past. Your life begins when you are. Your parents are not your parents. Your past is not your past. Your life begins when you are chosen.
That's what they told the orphans.
Your parents are not your parents. Your past is not your past. Your life begins when you are chosen, is what the orphans were told. The orphan train movement was a supervised welfare program that transported children from crowded eastern cities to the United States to foster homes located largely in rural areas of the Midwest. The orphan trains operated between 1854 and 1922, relocating.
So this was just this orphan train movement, but if you look into it, it was in Australia, it was in all over the world. This was happening too, like in other parts of the world this has happened.
About 250,000 children, and it says here that it decreased by the 1920s. The confused and often frightened children were auctioned off and used as slaves and cheap labor. Chimney sweeps were cut off from their origins, told to forget their pasts and their families that they originally came from. Some of their parents were still alive from the hospital.
Well, it's gonna get into it, but this is.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
but
sorry,
this
brother.
is. So basically, what we think is the whole place was like completely destroyed. They had to repopulate. They sent over orphans from wars, people that lost their family in wars, and but they ran out of people, so they ran out of kids, so they started growing kids.
I got you.
When the
I'm
parents were
not
in the
trying to be
hospital, they took the kids
impressive.
away. This
No,
really happened. This was a repopulation effort. Why did they need so many orphans? Why were they sending train loads of orphans? One kid on the train said, "Where are we going?" They told him, "We're going to Texas." He said, "Wait, I can't go to Texas. My mom's still alive. I'm not an orphan. My mom's in the hospital in New York." And they just took off. So can you imagine what the orphanages were like back in that day? They were overcrowded and gloomy, probably disgusting. Dirty, bugs, mice, rats, cockroaches, anything you can think of. Wonder what the food was like. So this guy Charles Loring Brace, B-R-A-C-E, Brace. His name's all over this thing, man. Everywhere I look, all the research I do, he comes up. Wanted to put the kids in families. The families treated these kids less than their family. They didn't treat them like their son or their daughter if they had kids. They would treat them more like a worker. No emotional attachment. They were shoving them down chimneys. There's pictures of them shoving the little kids down chimneys, like 5-6-year-olds, because they would fit. You know, it wasn't.
Look.
Oh my God!
Come on. So like, because the kid, they were making the orphans chimney sweeps because they could fit.
That makes me.
Wait a minute. So they're like little orphan slaves?
They're like 6 or 7 years old, yeah.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim cheree.
Is this where like the play Annie started? Like it was all of this big fucking
movies.
show about Annie, Orphan Annie, and
there's so many orphan movies from that era, and that's why, because it was
Oliver.
Didn't they used to like drop babies off at like a place? You were like, you can just bring your babies here and drop it in a box, and then they would like, put them in like an infirmary or like whatever it is. It's like they would put them somewhere.
Yeah,
and
the babies out of wedlock. The babies out of wedlock, they would drop them down.
So dark.
They would drop them off at like the police station or some safe place, but they were babies that were born out of wedlock.
Well, so
I
like,
thought I had it hard.
they say that the whole country was built on slave labor, which is kind of true, but it's a half truth because they used orphans like slaves. You know,
So child labor.
child
So-
labor. And
Happy Labor Day, everybody.
Oh, interesting. Hey, an interesting
Around
drop
the
there.
Yo, dark joke.
Yeah.
So
That was super
this
dark.
was my this was my video that
Sorry.
I made, but what was the point? Oh yeah, so they're gonna get in. It's the incubators. It shows them coming up. So let me get to it. Let me skip to that. Yeah, so there's the incubator guy. All right.
That's the impic. Yeah, that guy is a
They
psycho.
would come for babies. They were coming for the. It makes sense, but people would travel for days. They didn't have cars. They didn't have
didn't have
airplanes
cars.
back then. They had to take a ship.
Cars.
People would come from
didn't have
all
no
over
cars.
the world, like Europe and everywhere.
So
They would come for babies. They were coming for the babies.
I think they were coming and adopting them, but like. getting them for-
Do you
These
know,
world fairs were set up.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Boston Ray? Do you know about the Cabbage Patch Museum? I think it's like in Pennsylvania or something.
Well, that's a whole other rabbit hole
Oh
right there.
boy, there is a Cabbage Patch Museum.
But
Let's get through-
we gotta get to Matt Rife and Annabelle.
Yeah, but
At
let's
some
get
point.
through. I want to get through this so that we can transition to Cabbage Patch Kids because it's super important in
Sure.
one of these lines. So, like,
I had a Cabbage Patch Kid growing up.
Boston,
but
tell us
Matt
about
Rife just bought the Cabbage Patch.
there's an incubator right there.
Yeah,
incubator.
I mean, as far as I know, this was a technology. I read somewhere it was from France and somewhere it was from Germany, so I don't really know. Like, but it was like at the time that this was going on, they had it was basically the same type of thing they used to hatch chickens, like keep chickens alive, like eggs. But like they used that to grow babies in public. Like, I mean, in a exhibit where you could go and. They had people coming from all over the place to see live babies that were being grown. And even George Clooney says, no, not George Clooney, Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld said that his dad or his grandfather was a Coney Island incubator baby.
Okay, my sister, she was premature.
Yeah.
And she lived in an incubator for like 2.5 months. And when I was like 8 years old, I got to see in the neonatal unit all of these babies kind of being grown. So now fast forward to now where they're making robots that have
babies.
incubator babies
I showed it on my show
that
last
you
night.
can choose like their skin tone, their eye color, everything, the color of their hair, like all like you can literally like create the baby that you want.
Yeah, so it's
Also-
basically the same technology from back then that they just brought. They still have it. They never stopped. They
never
never
stopped.
stopped. And the same thing with, if you think about it, with like the refugees that they're letting into the country and stuff like that. They're all children and young, so they're like the orphans are still coming. Still.
Yep. And then you think of like the Lebensborn and all of that stuff from World War II and Germany and Stalin and all of that. They were making babies too. Like they paid women to have sex with soldiers to come to America out of wedlock and have a baby here.
Really? I
Yes.
never heard this.
The amount of children that they had back then don't add up. Nobody really.
It doesn't.
knows.
It doesn't make sense because, and also you had to be chosen to be a layman's-born mom. You had to either have blue eyes or green eyes. You had to be a certain body shape, a certain body size, and like, they had like comfort women in the Korean War and in World War II when the servicemen were overseas, and those men also had a whole bunch of babies out of wedlock too.
Yes, and that's one of the things I didn't bring up yesterday. That might be in like part 2 or 3 of my military kind of stuff, but yes, that is absolutely true. It's a widely known thing across the military.
Yeah, and I know that because my grandfather served in the Korean War, and I found this box in their basement, and my grandfather ran the ammunition tent because he was next of kin, because my uncle got a Purple Heart in the Battle of Bulge. So my grandpa was a little bit younger than him. He served in the Korean War, and I found this box in my grandparents' basement, and it was this old Jacobson's box, and Jacobson's like an old department store in Michigan, and it said on it in my grandpa's writing, it said, "For Nicole after I die." And I was like, Grandpa, what is this box? And he was like, you weren't supposed to find that. And I was like, well, what is it? And he's like, "Arr!" So I looked in it, obviously. And it is all
No,
of
I'm not
his
laughing at your
friend.
pain. I'm laughing at your noises. I'm not laughing
His
at
friend.
I was
Listen,
laughing at this.
his
It's at the child
friend
hatchery.
had a Polaroid camera, and so I've got original Polaroid photos of Marilyn Monroe when she went and like entertained the troops. But I found so many photos of these women with his troop comforting the men, and some of them are not pretty. Some of them are very, you know, from a photo editor standpoint, like I can tell that these women were very uncomfortable. And, you know,
Oh.
yeah, it was like, it's really sad. And my grandpa, I remember him telling me, "Yo, don't you ever do that 23andMe thing. Don't you ever do that."
Oh,
Because
pause
who
that.
knows?
Go back to that. Oh,
I
shit.
lost it.
That's okay. It's okay. So there's we'll go back to this, but like here's the thing, like this stuff, like you hear about like from your great grandmothers, if you're old enough to remember their stories, or grandfathers or whatever, you hear about, well, she was an orphan, he was an orphan, and you're like, oh, that must have happened back in the day because of the Great Dust Bowl and everything else. But then that picture you just had, there's several pictures, and maybe if you want to grab another one of the orphan trains, and I think this will lead into the Cabbage Patch Kids, and I think this is going to touch. Yeah, I want to see the orphan train thing.
So
yeah.
check this out though. This has to do with that. So this is
Sorry,
this is a little proof behind it. Look, this is military.com. Pentagon leaders tell troops to stop using mail-in genealogy DNA kits. U.S. troops being advised to steer clear. Why are they telling them to stop?
I'm going to do an orphan train video. I think the orphan trains are very important to understanding what's going on right now. So the U.S. government sent out this memo saying they don't want their employees to take any more of these DNA tests. They said the reason is privacy. The reason, I think, is because of all these other articles you can see of people getting their reports back to heritages and things that they didn't expect.
Yeah, like
So people have been...
So all the DNA tests were coming back to like orphans. Like it would go back like 300 or 400 or 500 years in an orphan, or like, look, just everything. It was just a mess. So they said stop doing it. But it just proves that we're not who we think we are.
Let's play a word game here, because this is going to lead into the Cabbage Patch Kids. So, and again, this is, guys out there, this is just, we're shooting out into speculation world here. A lot of all the divisions of Old World look back, research lead back to like some sort of event in the mid 1800s that where something got reset. That's kind of the overarching umbrella that we're talking about here.
And that's the thing about the DNA test. They only go back 300, 400, 500 years. Everybody, like, you can't go back any further.
Yes, and what you get out of this, and what I'm just giving you my shotgun take in aggregate. That's for Tony Coriolis, is that something happened, and there was repopulation, and everything tracks to these old stories. Where like you don't have family trees back unless you're like a bloodline family that can track your family way back into like antiquity. But what we have is we have a lot of evidence that looks like something nasty happened, at least on our continent. Something nasty happened.
NPC trees.
Yeah, well, and then you have basically, we're trying to piece back together what all that was. Like, as most people don't look back, 2-3 generations in their past, right?
Hey, Nico. Nico, can you say that again? What? Something true?
Oh, sorry. I said NPC trees. Like, they were like the Cabbage Patch Kids are just like the birth of NPCs.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Oh no, that's even more twisted. The Cabbage Patch shit. When we get to that, it's twisted, and it's like they drop that into the narrative so carefully. But if you look back at the old postcards of the Cabbage Patch Kids. Yeah.
Did you see that price for child down the chimney? It said
hold on a second.
Shillings and 4 guineas.
Yeah.
Wait a second. They don't need a dowry to get a Cabbage Patch Kid. You can just go and pretty much pick up a designer kid. But do you remember in the 80s, the Cabbage Patch Kids were all the craze? Like, they were causing riots at Kmart.
Oh, yeah.
People
That was on
getting
purpose.
Cabbage Patch
That was
Kids.
on purpose. It was on purpose.
But why are people... And like, the new Cabbage Patch Kid is like the Labubu toy.
We're about to get to like the darkest, the darkest.
And Matt Rife and Annabelle. We gotta.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, we
Labubu
will.
and Matt Rife and Annabelle, like that shit is like I don't know. There's something connected with all this Cabbage Patch stuff. The NPCs, the like.
Okay, this is the
I
most
don't know.
neurodivergent broadcast ever, guys. And but yes.
Don't you hold on. Neurodivergent
Stay on
lives
track
matter.
here because we're gonna get to.
Neurodivergent lives matter.
Okay.
Well, it always connects right now.
We're going right now into this Cabbage Patch thing. I think it's really important. I think Boston, I think you can tell us a little bit about this Cabbage Patch thing and tell us a little bit about what this is because people want to know.
Well, I know that the tulip is the symbol for fertility. So that's why you see like they use the tulip a lot.
Well, oh my God, tulips, really?
Yeah, like well, that's because the tulip, the flower. The tulip,
I love that I censored
comes
myself
up-
that long.
It comes
and
up every single year, no matter what. Like if you have the tulip, I've planted them 20, 30 years later. The same ones still come up every single year. Like they never go away.
They're bulbs.
Yeah, but especially that flower is real. It's real potent. It just comes back. So that's why they use it for like the symbol for like fertility clinics for women and that are trying to have babies and stuff. But the Cabbage Patch thing, it's like there's all this Cabbage Patch symbology. There's these postcards, Cabbage Patch postcards, like from kids back in the day, and it's just really creepy that how they're using the cabbage, like the kids grew like cabbage.
In my mind, it starts with a stork. All right, the stork symbology. You want to tell your kids about how you got into the world. A stork brought you, right? Well, this was another switch off or another branch of, hey, how did you get here? And you'll get, let's just, whatever you got, let's share it.
I have it. Yeah, it's coming.
And obviously, we know that everybody has sex and has kids and that sort of thing. But like, this is a really important counter narrative that offset what apparently it looks like in this research mode, looks like there was a reset. And so they had to have some sort of fantasy story to say where people come from. And it was early in postcards, and then it came on again in the 80s with these Cabbage Patch Kids out of nowhere. It's like who thunked that up? Who thunk it up? It's based in a long narrative that's designed to get you to not understand where you really are. And I think if there's any nature in this reset story in the 1800s, is there anything to it, then this is really powerful. I'm adding this now.
Yeah. So
you know what? Who came up with the name Cabbage Patch? Seriously, like, why would kids be grown from cabbage? Cabbage is like disgusting.
Well, that's Denver Airport right there.
These people.
That's a deep.
These people did the
rabbit.
most research on it.
We began to notice a trend with old postcards from the 1900s showing early examples of compositing.
Sorry, not Denver
There isn't much
Airport.
information
but,
on these.
Yeah.
If there's a catalog,
These are all real old postcards with kids like.
it's not easy to come by.
Watch.
But many of these are early examples of photo manipulation.
Postcards.
They had surreal, real photo postcards in which they would attempt to trick people with the illusion of photography. As we continued to look through these old postcards,
Look, let's go back to that one. Look, it's like it's gonna show them growing out of cabbage too.
It's like you're creating a
Seems
myth
like
of
any
where a
ordinary
child comes
postcard.
from.
Yeah.
I actually have a little bit of a change of subject if anyone's interested.
Not yet, Andrew. This is important. This is important.
No-
but
no
we'll
problem.
We'll get to that.
Here we go. Cabbage Patch Kids.
This is the crux of the entire
here's the
night.
story.
Patch Kids' official historian that would then deliver the babies to their new homes. Not only that, but there's an evil witch named Lavender McDay. She and her weasel and jackrabbit henchmen are literally trying to enslave the Cabbage Patch Kids to be miners to dig for gold in the valley. You can get all the exposition for the lore in the story through their 10-song album. It goes over how they were created, to the witch, to even a lament about their enslavement. It's pretty dark. The original concept for the cloth dolls was created by Martha Nelson Thomas, and she called them doll babies. And the story
She's
really
kinda
had nothing
hot.
to do with cabbages or chimeras
I'm
or
lonely.
witches. It wasn't 1910. orphanages were all shut down, and after the 60s, people just
Look at
stopped
that
having
shit.
babies and getting married after World War II, according to the narrative.
People stop
Then there were
having
the
babies and not
incubators
getting
of
married.
1900s. It's
So-
difficult to keep premature babies alive with modern technology, yet they were doing this back in 1835 in Europe. They turned this into a sideshow,
1835.
where at the world fairs they would
Yeah,
show
I was
off
gonna
these
say,
toil
there's a
hatcheries,
they
these
toured these.
incubators of live children, and for some reason, the royals would come and witness
So I
these
guess they're
events.
just like the cabbage is like just a symbol for them growing babies like cabbage.
Yeah, they're these evil fucks.
You had to have a myth story
So there's
about
this
where
genetic
babies came from.
manipulation.
Yeah.
You had to have a myth story where babies came from to take away the natural element of reproduction, and that will feed into mythological stories and also religions. So like and then we have all of these little hints in these old postcards, and babies come from storks or babies come from Cabbage Patch. Babies come from people. But like this was necessary to separate the natural state of people being alive and how people actually come to be, because you have to parent children and a woman has to go through labor to make a new baby. Well, no, they're just like, well, we make babies. We make babies, and guess what? They're for sale. And this is a really, really big. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm listening to you. But yeah.
Well,
you're
you know
right.
what? I want to add to this real quick. Am I
Go ahead.
off mute? My psychotherapist told me I'm always cold because I wasn't covered up enough as a kid, which is crazy, but my wife will throw blankets on me when I'm having a mental breakdown. I wonder if this whole Cabbage Patch thing might be why we have these psychopaths running the government. Like if that wasn't the whole seed.
Man, it's so many layers to this research, this mudflood research. It's crazy. It's like,
And it gets darker.
Onion.
Yeah, it gets darker. Like it's like when you talk about the nature of. Here, I'll get that off here. When you talk about the nature of like what is the human body worth and what is blood worth, what is your soul worth, what is everything else. There's an entire religion that exists that does very dark things and believes in sacrifice. So like
Bloodletting.
yeah, and so what you end up with is like you're treated the human body as a receptor or a radio receptor, or just like if you want to call it a physical simulation. There's a certain population that looks at human beings as cattle. And that applies to this very story. Well, you have to have a fluffy story to make everybody accept. Oh, you're just you come from a cabbage patch, or you come from a stork, and but everybody really knows that babies come from women. But that's how they swerve the entire myth story.
Yes, it gets a lot darker than that.
Oh yeah, it does. It does, and depending how well.
I'm going to say it right now, and the Cabbage Patch. Cabbage Patch. Cabbage Patch. Whatever the fuck they are. Well, there's also the Garbage Pail Kids, which is
that one.
Yeah.
Oh, I love those.
That was a whole swerve on Cabbage Patch Kids. Yeah.
Exactly.
Orphans.
It
They
gets
are
twisted
Indian.
so quickly.
But yeah,
So,
I
yeah, go ahead.
I got some cool photos that I just dug up. That I wanted to show, like good ones. I was looking for good photos. Let me see.
Can you play those videos, Alex?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that one. I've got it in the queue. I want to see this.
This is just let's see if I can get it in the slideshow. That would be great. I think I might be able to. So this one, this is just photos of like great fires, right? So this is Chicago. These are really old. You can tell.
Is
From the
that a
library-
3D photo? Is that why it's dual?
I got it.
No,
from the
that's a
Library of
potato.
Congress.
It's a potato photo.
I don't
I got it.
understand.
There's a website online called the Library of Congress, and they have like old photos, and you can go on there and dig. You gotta look through it.
The Library of Congress actually started archiving all of the original stuff. And I know a lot about the Library of Congress as a photographer. And I actually there's the Library of Congress in DC. And then in DC, you take a little shuttle to actually go to the real Library of Congress, which is like a building that's the size of an acre. The thing is massive, and it's a gigantic library, and you can do all the research, and it's all free. It's insane the amount of stuff that they have there.
I'm just trying to see if there's a way I can get to the next one without.
Yeah, I would agree. I've been there
Out of it.
myself
All right,
3 times.
We'll do this.
It's
Well,
massive.
So this
It's
is a
massive,
trip,
right?
okay?
It's fascinating.
So this is allegedly an etching of Boston when it was run by the French in like the 1700s or something. And I was looking at it and I'm like, okay, so look how nice these buildings are, right? But look at the street. If we could build buildings that were like gold back then, why would our streets look like shit?
You know, that's a good point. And I've always wondered about cobblestone because that would suck for horses. And it's so loud. Like, why were the streets mud?
I don't know.
Which actually, maybe the streets were mud flooded. Maybe that's why the
This
streets
is the
look like
one that's
that.
behind me. This is Boston in 19. I'm just trying to. Here's another one. Boston being run by the French. It might be the same one. It's the same one. It's only one of those. This is Chicago fire ruins on a plate. Just look at that. Like, really? A lantern
I'm
did all
telling you,
this?
it looks like a bomb went
lantern?
off.
A lantern?
It looks like Dresden. I mean, who's to say? But it's like, I just don't see fires burning through rocks and creating that sort of stuff. You know, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh, this is Klaus Speckel's house after the San Francisco one or something. But I just thought it was a cool structure. So, like, you know, like when we build buildings nowadays, we don't build domes like this, like bell towers and stuff. Like, this was tech. So we call this stuff on the roof right here Antiquitech, because it's technology from a time and place that we weren't taught nothing about.
It's a copper roof, too.
Well, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, so the domes resonate. You know what I mean? And you know, a lot of the domes and a lot of the cathedrals have Polaris in the center. So it's almost like a flat Earth, like a firmament. This is
Oh my God. They just think we're dome. They're dome to dome. It's like so
I'll tell you what,
dome.
like that just looks like Dresden to me. It looks like
That's Boston.
that doesn't look like a fire. It looks
That's
like
the north end. Isn't that the north end?
Yeah, and you know what's crazy about the Boston fire? It happened on November 9th, which is 9/11.
October.
But 9/11 backwards, 11/9 back. You know, that's crazy. The date. When I seen it, I was like 11/9. That's 9/11. Not 11/9 for your 9/11.
Wait a second. No, the photo happened. The photo was taken on 11/9, but the fire happened on October 9th.
A lot of yeah, that's the thing. A lot of them. You're right. I think you're right. But I've seen it a lot of places, like in the subway in Boston. It always says 11/9, like, and I'm like,
The T.
and and the ones that like they'll have pictures up of the fire and it'll say like 11/9 in the.
I love that they call the Boston subway the T, and it's like where the Tea Party started, and I'm just like, there's never a party on the T. Never.
And it's also very powerful to understand like
I get a
the
video.
juxtaposition in these photos. Like, can you just show a photo of this?
Boston
is one,
Gray spilling the tea.
This is one which is like, all right, what doesn't make sense to you when you look at these old photos? Pull it back. Give me one that has a carriage, a wooden carriage with a horse
This is the
next
first-
to a giant building with a mud road. This is where like my brain is trying to make sense of, okay, so you have horses and wagons, you've got people, you've got these buildings that there's no way that they were built by people
By
that
these
had
people.
technology that have wood wheels. It just doesn't make sense. And then you go in and you look at the roads, they're mud roads. Like, wouldn't you pave the road up to the giant marble concrete Romanesque building before you even built the building? It just doesn't make any
People were
sense
spilling
to
their
me.
poop out of
They
buckets
said-
into the road. People were spilling their poop out of buckets into the mud road at that
said
time.
that-
That's why everybody got the plague.
It said that this one is the first trolley ride ever.
Yeah, in the meantime, they use that same wagon to build that building behind it. It's just like, it's nonsense. It's just crazy.
Yeah, but
pants.
people who are dressed in top hats. Like something
Yeah,
doesn't
why-
make sense. Why do
I
they
think
have
I'm-
top hat? Why do they have top hats?
Oh, so
Why,
this
Rico,
is the
why are
great,
you calling me?
This is the Great Fire of Baltimore, right? You know how that one was started? The Great Fire of Baltimore. This one?
A chicken knocked over a lantern.
No. So there's pavement glass. You know what that is? Prism glass.
Mm-mm.
So like, we'll have to get into that now. I'll bring it up in a minute, but it's basically an old primitive technology that we used to use, and it's you can't tell when it's really there. Like you can see it sometimes when you're walking. It's glass in the sidewalk that lights up the room underneath, because there's a lot of rooms under the ground, and the light would shine in it, the sun, and light up underneath. They wouldn't need to use any electricity.
Why do they have an electricity tower? Like there's an electricity electricity tower.
Well, here's the thing too. If you look at like all these
That's
shots,
the same fucking thing that we use now. Like why is that there?
This fire, it was a cigar ash that fell through the cracks of a prism glass, right? It burnt. Yeah.
What?
Someone that was ashing their cigarette, it fell into the prism glass in the ground, and burnt the whole city down.
Wait, why was there a prism glass in the ground?
I don't know.
What? Isn't that weird?
I'll show you. No, the prism glass. Yeah, because there's. I'll get it up. In a sec. Give me a second.
See, we learned in photography school in Boston the fire started at a photography studio because of mercury vapor, and mercury vapor is like super flammable.
Bullshit.
And also, the photography school that I went to got a huge federal fine because they were dumping all of the fix, which is like a chemical that you use to stop photography from developing.
Bullshit?
What? Boston?
I'm just saying, like all the historical narratives about these great fires are all just absolute horseshit. They're horseshit.
Well,
it's just like those buildings didn't break apart with the kinetic force it would take to break those buildings apart with a fire. Then maybe they'd still be standing, they'd be charred, but they'd still be standing, and they look like Dresden. It's like, you know, you have a lot of arguments of people will be like, well, you know, it could be a water at scale event, or maybe. It, to me, just with my own eyes, it looks like they were bombed.
It looks like Pompeii.
Hey, would you who's coughing?
Mine, sorry.
Would you mind me playing a video that Nico sent me?
Can you put my prism glass up on the screen real quick while I got it so I can just show her? It's
Yeah,
right there.
I want to see it.
It's right there, Lowry. This is what prism glass is. Now you'll see it when you go.
Oh my gosh, that's everywhere.
You've seen it before, right?
Yeah, I know
Now
exactly
you
what
know.
that is.
It's not just tiles on the street. It actually lights up a room underneath.
Christmas
That's weird.
was born out of a cabbage patch 40 years ago.
CBS 2's Vanessa Murdoch takes us back in time to 1983
Murdoch.
for a look at what parents went through to make sure a Cabbage Patch doll landed under the tree.
Wow.
The excitement palpable in 1983 as hundreds wait in line to get their hands on the it toy that Christmas, the Cabbage Patch.
How long have you been waiting? Since midnight.
When the lock turns,
It's like the North Carolina DMV.
Tears flow.
Sorry.
The battle to claim one rages on inside. Some leave victorious, some empty-handed.
I just got a real good.
Oh, she looks like a cat patch doll.
These are ridiculous.
Still, scenes like this unfolded across the country. Moms, dads, grandparents, driven by the fear of disappointing their little loved ones and not witnessing this joy Christmas morning. My mom, Christine Murdoch, remembers one crazy morning in '83.
When those doors opened, we had to run like a marathon as fast as we could to get to the shelves, and we had to just grab whatever
Black
doll
Mirror.
we could get.
Programming.
Black
My
Mirror.
mom, Kristen Murdoch, who owns all of the
Her
fucking
dress
news.
is not original, but
Black
she'll be in
Mirror.
our family for as long as I have a say. The Cabbage Patch doll, not the only hot toy to generate.
Oh,
a
look, the
Christmas
little
craze.
jailhouse one. Elmo.
Our Christmas would have been
No,
destroyed.
seriously,
if it
Black
wasn't a
Mirror.
Elmo under the tree.
Yeah.
Anne Renault can still remember the expression on her daughter's face.
Oh, the Magic 8 Ball came out in 1983.
Most
No
recent craze,
shit. That
LOL
long?
surprise dolls in 2017. Adrian Appel, toy trend specialist with the Toy Association, says the Cabbage Patch craze of '83 is less likely to occur in
83.
Christmas
Holy
future
sheep
for
shit.
3 reasons.
There's more availability. Kids are used to things being more tailored for them.
That's
and
like
toy makers are
lemon
really
heads.
responding across the
Mhm.
board to kind of cater to all those different types of kids.
And now there are so
I
many
love those.
different ways to get your hands on the
Has
It
such
toy
a
that
big
there's
crush
no
on the
need
singer
to
of
line up with the
Lemonheads.
mob.
Do you ever go through that again to get a toy for your grandchildren?
My
Probably I would.
Whatever
That's
it
the
takes,
Murdoch
make
family.
A Merry Christmas. Vanessa Murdoch, CBS 2
All right.
News.
Okay, so I sent one more video, which is just a TikTok from this girl. So I said Pennsylvania earlier, but this museum is about an hour and a half somewhere outside of Atlanta, and it's free to go to, and is the Cabbage Patch Museum.
Welcome to the birthplace of Cabbage Patch Kids. Just an
how
hour
do
and a
I
half from
enlarge it?
Atlanta, and it's completely free to visit.
That's what she
Babyland
said.
General Hospital is a one-of-a-kind attraction in
Someone
Cleveland,
enlarge
Georgia,
it.
and the official birthplace of the iconic Cabbage Patch Kids. Visitors can witness the
Alex?
live birth of a Cabbage Patch Kid from a magical cabbage patch, guided by a nurse in a full delivery ceremony. After that, the
Full
newborn is
delivery
taken to
ceremony.
the nursery for a complete checkup and care routine by staff dressed in hospital scrubs. The hospital is filled with nostalgia, and its walls are lined with photos of celebrities who have visited over the
Okay,
years.
wait
Whether
for
you're a
it. Look at
longtime
who's
fan or
there. Did you see
discovering
the
it for
astronaut?
first time, you'll love it. Find details in the captions
No, I
and
didn't.
follow me
Really?
for more.
Which one?
That is twisted. I'm
Petted, I
sorry, dude.
think.
Oh
Isn't
my
that-
god! Could
isn't
you
that
imagine
fucked
getting
up?
a tattoo of that fuck?
That's so twisted, dude.
Isn't that twisted? So we have to go to the Cabbage Patch Museum because I just want to see it for my own eyes. Like I think it's insane that they have a Cabbage Patch. Museums in DC are free. Museums in Europe are free. This museum happens to be a privately owned museum that's free. Why is it free? What else are they growing under that museum? And why the fuck do Cabbage Patch Kids come from sauerkraut? Seriously, like what the hell is that?
Well,
it's just the weirdest thing.
It's not exactly sauerkraut, but it's like it's a side narrative, myth narrative to confuse the fuck out of everybody about what they're walking around on. They literally had to create so many little different side stories to confuse you about your past.
Okay, so
sorry.
DJ, hello, DJ. So
Who's
I have
Deej?
one thing to bring up today, and
Yeah.
I'll share my screen. So I always like to do a on this day what may have happened, and something very interesting happened.
On this day?
Uh-huh. In 1992, it was the end of an 11-day standoff with Ruby Ridge. I don't know if you guys know what that is.
I don't.
Dude, Ruby Ridge was like that. They were they're constitutionalists out there, and the tobacco firearms went out there and murdered them.
Yeah, it's
At
pretty
least
much
murdered
like
some of them.
like a Waco situation.
Yeah.
No, it's way more fucked up than Waco, because Waco, I think, actually, they deserved it because they had.
I'm still sharing. I didn't even realize that. All right. So, yeah, this is.
I'm gonna look into that prism stuff. That's fascinating,
Well,
Boston
look,
Ray.
it's right here. Look, it shows you how it works.
Yeah, I seen that. That's all. They're all over New York City.
Yeah, I found.
And
a few
I
in
thought they
Boston.
were. I didn't realize that they were made with crystal.
It's crazy how
But-
it works. Look, you see how it's lighting up right there?
Yeah.
How it looks, that's how it looks underneath.
Yeah.
That's cool. So
That's
there was a lot
crazy.
there was a lot of people underground and a lot of rooms underground where they needed this type of situation.
Wow, that's so cool. I'm gonna look into that. That's fascinating.
I wish I had prism glass in my house. I mean, it's dope.
Well, you do if you have a camera.
Yeah, that actually looks a lot like how all of these different types of homes that are built specifically in New Mexico, which are, you guys know what I'm
That's
talking
cool.
about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Pueblo ones. Like they make them with the bottle, like bottle glass. They like cut bottles and like.
Earth chips. Yeah, we've already had him on twice.
Sometimes when it's so old, it looks like that. It looks like it's just tiles. You if you were walking on top of it, you would think it was tiles, but underneath.
That's
it's
so
like,
cool.
All those homes are Breaking Bad.
Wow, wow, wow.
And it's a lot of the times it's purple like that. The Prism brand. There's one called Prism, like the company was called Prism, and it was purple.
So that's how they lit stuff for the underground people, which are the Cabbage Patch people.
There was a lot of rooms underground. No,
Oh my God, what if they were making Cabbage Patch Kids to like put souls into that were just not good souls, and they're just the NPCs that are making this world, like the politicians and stuff?
Ooh, you know what? Actually, you know what? Different night.
Okay. Like, isn't the Louvre a prism too? In France? In Paris?
AI is too, in my mind.
That square window that you see sometimes in like bars or like subways.
Bars.
Bars.
Stop making fun of his Boston accent. Stop it. I love it.
I get it all the time now.
I love it.
'Cause I'm in the South.
I love
I'm
it.
used to it.
Bars.
People in the South don't understand me.
No, you're like straight up Boston.
My wife told them my name on an order, and I go in to get it, and it was spelled ramen, Ramen. That's what I thought she said. Raymond. Instead of Raymond, they thought she said ramen. Okay.
Hey, Ray, I got a question for you.
What up?
And can you repeat the sentence I'm going to say right now? Can you give me directions to the mall?
Can you give me directions to the mall?
Why?
There you go.
It's just fucking around, that's all.
See, like, I went to school in Boston, and people would always be like, oh, do you park your car down by the raw? Like, I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Shut up.
I parked my car on your lawn when I'm drunk.
I parked my car on your lawn when I'm drunk. But, like, you have such an original Boston accent. It's so cool.
By the way, Ray is a good guy. Like, he'll answer the phone and help me with whatever.
I try.
And, like,
I'm around.
Well, no, like I call him for silly stuff.
Okay, so
Yeah, don't laugh. Well, no, I was trying to dye my hair hot pink. You know what? Never mind.
Yeah.
He doesn't
They
want it
don't
to be a
listen.
surprise. It's gonna
All right,
happen.
so
I'm so much gayer than DJ.
So
Hey.
and Alex, because you lived in New York for so long, and can you repeat the same sentence?
I don't remember what you said.
Can you give me directions to the mall?
Give me fucking directions to the fucking mall.
Can you give me
Just
directions
kidding.
to the mall?
I'm from Detroit. I grew up in
Are you talking
Michigan.
about you're going to park the car down by the harbor? Is that what you're talking
No. No. Can you give me directions to the mall?
about? In New York? Of course I can. Get on the fucking subway and fucking drive somewhere. To whatever you want.
Do we even have malls anymore? I feel like they're all shut down.
I was just asking for a brevity of comedy.
Well, I'm having a slice of pizza, and we talk about Cabbage Patch Kids, and we also we're still drilling down the differences between various parts of old world history. That's really important. Because people get it all fucked up. It's like Tartarian, nut butters, it's melted bricks,
It's not mud
Dude,
flutters,
Alex,
it's
your
mud
mic- Your
flutters.
mic is so hot. I can hear every.
I honestly
Sorry.
just look into old architecture. I just like looking at it. Like, I don't know
Hey,
what
Boston.
they want to call it, but yeah.
Boston. I was in Boston for one of the most iconic days. It was when they broke the Bambino curse and beat the Yankees for the
there?
World Series. I was there. I was at school across the street.
Wow.
My school was right under the shit go sign.
I was like, all the kids in my neighborhood were like, we reversed the curse. And
Yeah.
I was like, really? So they were like, let's go to Fenway Park.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
that girl died when she was climbing up the light posts and stuff. It was traumatic.
Yeah, you remember.
I do.
So,
it was
yeah,
crazy.
There was a huge riot down there, and
There was a huge riot because all the Yankee fans that were there that came up from New York, they got in a big huge fight with all the Southie people, and it was just a big riot. It was crazy. I lived in
Boston people,
Brookline.
They just wanted to go there and break shit. Like So
They
everybody
did,
was-
and they broke
everything.
shit.
They broke
They broke
everything.
it all.
They tipped the
They-
cars over.
the cars
they
were on fire.
They were breaking every single.
I'm surprised they didn't light the green
thing
monster
that
on
wasn't
fire.
nailed down, like the newspaper.
Is it kind of
signs,
like that Ben Affleck
stands.
movie? Is that what it's like?
Sort of, yeah. Goodwill
oh,
Hunting,
the
yeah,
town.
but
the town.
no, it's more like Boondock Saints.
Ooh.
No, he's talking about the town. It's the bank robbery movie.
Yeah.
Not Goodwill Hunting.
Well,
It's
I
very
fart,
different.
I fart in my sleep and scare myself.
No,
That's Goodwill Hunting.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the town.
Yeah, that's Southie.
So look, this is the one of the world's fairs. Let me show you. This is the Louisiana Expedition.
Hold on, let me pull you up.
It's
That's what
pulled
she
up.
said.
It's just World's Fair camera. This is
I got you.
So this is look, they're saying that their story is all these buildings were just temporary, built of like paper mache, like stucco, and they put up these beautiful buildings that look like they were in Rome, in Greece. You know what I mean? Just for display, and they tore them all down after the World's Fairs left. So why would you build such beautiful buildings and then just tear them down? Also, there was plumbing found, permanent plumbing. So why would, like, look at them? Do they look temporary? Does that look like a temporary structure? And if they weren't temporary, then why is there buildings in America that look like they belong in Italy, you know, or Greece? These same buildings are all over the world, right? And like, so like some of the buildings I filmed that look like this in Boston, I seen the same exact buildings that Michael Joshua Lewis films over in Australia. Same exact building, just in a different spot, like looks exactly the same. So if we're all from different countries and everything else, then why all the buildings look like they're built by like the Italians and all over the world? Every part, Africa, no matter where you go, all the buildings look like they were built in Rome or something. It's because it was one civilization that did the same civilization built it. And then like this is like, you know, like, all right, we got these statues that look like this, like things that look like Greek gods or whatever, right? These are pagan, you know, pagan goddesses and whatnot. But like, this is probably more like what the people looked like. Because when we build statues of our leaders that look like us. We don't build statues of like, you know, like the Statue of Liberty is probably Columbia, maybe, from Columbia Pictures, the goddess Columbia.
The Statue of Liberty was created by Eiffel, the same guy as the Eiffel Tower, who designed the Eiffel Tower, and it looks like the Eiffel Tower on the inside. Fun fact.
I've seen the photos of them building
The Statue of Liberty looks like Satan.
making the molds. But
The Statue of Liberty was designed by Eiffel, the guy who designed the Eiffel Tower.
But for the most part, like this is supposed to be a temporary structure that they built just for the fair. And then so what we think is like these were like little pockets of like this stuff was left, right? These type of buildings were left. And they came and they built a fair around the buildings. It made it look like the buildings were part of the fair because they knew they were going to rip down the fair anyway, right? And they did it just because they wanted to have a reason to rip down the buildings so that we couldn't, you know, use them or get them or see them, cover it up a little more. Like, let's build a fair around it, have everybody come in, that's the World's Fair, and then when we go, we're going to knock the buildings down too.
That's not fair. Because they just destroyed everything.
So, you know.
Not fair.
Well, Boston, like you actually present it in a very based manner, and we were just talking about buildings, and like I see what you're saying. I mean, like I've looked at it myself. It's like none of these buildings make any sense on the continent of the U.S. They just don't. They just don't.
The giant doorways, they might have been doorways for giants.
Could
See how
been.
big the doorway is?
Facts. They were giant doorways for giants because giants existed and they were huge, like Gilgamesh.
We don't build doorways like that on our buildings. They're
Mm-mm.
our size. The doorways are our size. They try to make us think that it was just some kind of architectural design, like way of building. but no.
Well, you want to come back and do a part 2 at some point in time in the fall, and we can continue to look at pictures because this shit fascinates the shit out of me, dude.
I'll come back and do this whenever, man. I love this. I can talk mud flood for hours, as you can see.
Yeah, me
it went
too.
by quick.
This is not a 2-hour conversation.
No, but I'm glad that we touched base on it, and I'm not trying to like convert flat earthers over to the mud. I don't care if you guys follow the mud flood or not. I enjoy it. So I do it for me. Yeah.
Indeed.
But if you guys, come over to
I want to hear more about that prism glass stuff. That's fascinating. I didn't realize that prism, like, what is that prism glass made out of? Why does it look like that?
Pavement glass. They build it a certain way so it reflects the light backwards like a light. Like it lights up like a bulb.
Yeah.
And there's 2 different ones. There's prism, and then there's a clear one too. Vault lighting, they call it.
Oh, really?
Vault lighting. Yeah, it's the same thing.
But what is that glass made of? Is it mixed with mercury or something? Because when it photographs in certain light, it has like weird colors in it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna look more into that because that actually is fascinating, and I love learning new things like that, especially something that's hidden in plain sight that's so obvious. And I've walked over that glass, and you know what the weird thing about that is? In all the times and in New York in the snow and the rain and stuff, that glass, it never gets muddy. It always melts the snow. Like the snow is not on it. It's always like there's snow that's piled up on the sidewalk, but when you're walking through it, the glass on like the sidewalk, I always called it sidewalk glass. I didn't know it was prism glass, but there's never any rain on it. There must be a pitch or something that it like falls off of it, or it just like disperses the water or moisture, but it's bizarre. And so I want to look more into that. Yeah, it's really weird because it also melts the glass. And so it's almost like they're using it and like we're the little ants and they're just like looking at us through a looking glass. What are those things called? The little circle things that you look and we burn ants with?
Hey, you gotta play Self too.
Okay.
Lowry.
So, yes, I have one last thing to say before we're getting ready to head out, and that is because I created the Give Fun Go for Austin Whitsitt.
No, we got him covered, brother.
Well, I'm just saying if you could post that one more time.
Well, yeah, we can do that, but it's not going to mean anything until... Yeah, we got you.
I'm doing what I can.
My very best friend in the world, she can't even get out of bed. So can you guys say prayers for my best friend, Shanna?
Prayers for Shanna. Also, prayers for our really good friend who is airlifted out of here and is also in a coma right now in a hospital in Greenville. And so prayers to him and to his family and his mom, because it's a really, really heavy thing. So prayers to Shanna, prayers to David. And can I shout out the chat?
Oh,
that's probably a good idea.
Got to.
Yeah, let's shout out to the chat. Okay, hey chat. DJ Curious is in the house, and NDB #1 fan. We've got Iceland Wild. We've got Flat and Geocentric Forever. Valley Parks, I love you, you're darling. We've got Angela Baby Carson and the Accidental Alchemist. Hello, sweethearts. And we've got, who else we got in here? Rye Russ Real. We've got Sirius B. Hello. Questions the answers. Yes, always question the answer because there's always another answer to your question.
We got Nathan down there in Atlanta.
We got Nathan. Commercial sound and video. We got Billing Tango. We got Mojo Shop. Hey, I saw Effie Nation in here. We've got Donald. We've got Mr. Super Sidewinder. Hey. And that's as far as up as I can go. But I know that I'm missing some people.
That's
but
a lot of people. We have a lot of people.
Yeah, we've got a lot of people in here. And shout out to Liz for doing that beautiful voiceover for Esoterica. Everybody's looking forward to that. Shout out to Cammie and Karen. And if you didn't see last week's episode, go back and check that out. Shout out to Mark Sargent. Shout out to Dave Weiss, whose sweatshirt that I'm wearing, which is actually Fed, which is Flat Earth Dave. And shout out to Lowry and to Rico. Shout out to Andrew B. And shout out to Boston Ray. Thanks for coming on, man.
Caption them, Dave. Why? Oh, I love this song. Oh my god.
And we'll get you.
I'm gonna turn my camera off
Because I'm
can
actually.
private stuff.
And shout out to Lowry for providing
just,
all of the music, which we're going to get a copyright strike because of his
No, actually, here's the deal. I
Fight
am going to be playing my music because I'm asking YouTube for permission to play my own music on our show that belongs to us, so that YouTube can do one of these. And we have the music and the new records out, so we're gonna play this. And then, yes, Rico, I will play that song next week, the one you wanted me to play.
Next week, I got permission today.
Nice.
But we're gonna get it on next week. Boston, thank you for coming on, and we'll have a part 2 because we haven't even touched all the shit we can do on this.
There's
so
much. It goes so many ways.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have private time
like
to your
buildings that had to go.
guitarist.
Like there's buildings that they built that are huge, and they knock them down within like 3 years. Like they're only up for like 4 years. Why would you build a building like that? And then the populations don't add up with the size of the buildings in the city. Like if you look up the population numbers, there was like 200 people that lived there, but they have these massive structures that house like 250 people each.
Dude,
There's
I
no
hear
way.
you,
Why
Ray
would
Ray.
you build that much space for that small amount of population? There's so many
Right?
different ways you could go with it.
And we have a homeless problem in this country right now. Like, it doesn't add up.
Well done, Nate. Well done, Nate.
Yeah,
That
thank
10K
you.
Record. Hey, I'm gonna have private time to Lowry's acoustic guitarist play.
Yeah. But anyway, love you guys. We'll see you again next Sunday. Happy to be back in the studio proper. And we love you guys. Boston, thanks for coming on. We're going to have you on again for part 2.
All your new music is slamming, dude. I've been listening to it. It's good quality. The sound, the guitars, everything sounds right. Like you can hear it.
He doesn't say as we sold drugs.
Wait, Lowry,
He said
you're a
he sold-
musician?
He says
his music is
he
good.
doesn't say as we sold drugs. He said diesel trucks.
Diesel trucks, yeah. Anyway, love you guys. Mwah. See ya.
I didn't know you
everyone.
were a musician. What?
Have a great night.